Air Canada, Westjet, Porter Airlines, British Airways, Air France KLM, Cathay Pacific. What do all these airlines have in common? They each offer at least one co-branded credit card in Canada, and in today's video, we're going to break them all down, including the upsides and the downsides. Let's get to it. Now, before we break down all of the different cards, there are 5 guiding principles that we're going to talk about today. Choosing an airline's co-branded credit card is going to be valuable for you if you actually fly with the airline, but not so much if you don't prefer to. Now, for the second guiding principle, with most of the Canadian Airlines co-branded credit cards that we're going to talk about today, one common benefit is free checked baggage. So if you're somebody who travels with carry-on baggage only and you never check bags, this perk is going to be much less valuable to you than it would be to a family of 4 who each checks a bag every time they travel. Now, the third factor we're going to consider is whether or not you care about things like status and lounge access and premium perks. Some of the cards that we're talking about today have higher annual fees, but with those fees come more perks and benefits. But those are only really valuable to you if you use them, so you're going to want to gauge how often you travel, how much you value premium perks, and whether or not you already enjoy them through things like airline status. Now, the fourth factor we're going to consider today is where you spend money and the category earning rates on each of these cards. Now, of course, if you tend to spend a lot of money with a particular airline, the earning rate on the co-branded credit card is likely going to be the best option in Canada. So, of course, you'll want to look at your individual situation and pair your spending habits with the right credit card to make sure that you're maximizing every dollar that you spend. And that relates to the fifth and final factor we're going to talk about today, and that's whether or not you actually pay cash for travel or if you're somebody who tends to travel on points. Now, we're going to kick things off talking about Air Canada Aeroplan credit cards, and the last time I checked, there are no fewer than 11 Aeroplan co-branded credit cards in Canada, but I'm going to choose one from each tier. So kicking things off with an entry-level card, the TD Aeroplan Visa Platinum card. Now, if you're just getting started out with miles and points, this is a great entry point into the Aeroplan ecosystem, and you can try out perks like preferred pricing and get enough points for your first Aeroplan redemption without having to commit too much. Now, this card is best suited to new Aeroplan collectors who are looking for a low cost of entry. But the downside to this card is that the perks are pretty basic and the earning rates are pretty low, so as you travel more, you're going to want to upgrade your card and maybe even to the next one I'm going to talk about on this list. Okay, moving into the core level of Aeroplan co-branded credit cards, and my top choice is the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite card. Now, this has long been a credit card that we at Prince of Travel recommend for every Canadian traveler, and it's great for everybody from solo travelers to couples to families and more. Now, with this credit card, you get a free first checked bag for yourself and up to 8 travel companions on the same booking. You also get preferred pricing for Air Canada flights on Aeroplan redemptions, and if you pay the taxes and fees for an Aeroplan redemption using this credit card, the insurance coverage is going to kick in. Now, in my opinion, this is a hugely underrated feature on credit cards and something that you're going to want to keep in mind whenever you make an Aeroplan redemption. Now, as I mentioned before, I think this is a great credit card for anybody who travels with Air Canada with any frequency, and that's especially true if you don't have elite status and you typically check a bag. So if you travel by yourself or as a couple or as a family and everybody on your booking checks a bag at least once or twice a year, this card essentially pays for itself. Now, one of the downsides to this card is that the earning rates are okay, but there are actually much faster ways to pad your Aeroplan balance by using cards in the American Express ecosystem. So one setup that you might want to consider is to pad your Aeroplan balance using an American Express credit card and then transferring your points one-to-one to Aeroplan, but then keeping this card for whenever American Express isn't accepted and for the perks and benefits that the card offers on an ongoing basis. Now, moving up to the premium tier of Aeroplan personal credit cards, my top pick is the American Express Aeroplan Reserve card. Now, if you tend to spend a lot of money with Air Canada, you're definitely going to want to consider having this credit card at your disposal, and that's because it offers the best earning rate for Air Canada purchases in Canada, and that's 3 Aeroplan points per dollar spent on Air Canada and Air Canada vacations. Now, another great feature of this card is the Air Canada Annual Worldwide Companion Voucher, which you get upon spending $25,000 in a cardholder year. Now, if you use this companion voucher strategically, it can save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year, which easily offsets the card's $599 annual fee, and we've got a full guide on how to maximize this companion pass on the Prince of Travel website. Now, another one of this card's flagship features is that it offers unlimited access to Air Canada Maple Leaf lounges in Canada and the United States. So if you have Aeroplan 50K status or above, you already enjoy unlimited lounge access in Canada, the United States, and across the world. So this benefit probably won't matter that much to you. However, if you have Aeroplan 25K or 35K status, or if you don't have Aeroplan Elite status at all, then this feature is certainly worth considering. So if status or flying in premium cabins isn't important to you, but lounge access is, then you'll definitely want to check out the American Express Aeroplan Reserve card due to its unlimited lounge access. Now, one of the downsides to this card is that it does come with a premium price tag of $599 every year. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you're leveraging all of the card's benefits to make sure that you're getting value out of this card year after year. And you can find a detailed guide to all of the Aeroplan co-branded credit cards on the Prince of Travel website, and we've linked out to the article in the description below. Now let's switch over to the Westjet ecosystem now, and I'm going to talk about the Westjet RBC World Elite MasterCard, which is one of 3 Westjet co-branded credit cards in Canada. Now, similar to what we saw with some of the Aeroplan co-branded credit cards, the Westjet RBC World Elite MasterCard is a great pick for anybody who flies Westjet with any frequency, especially if you travel with checked baggage. One of this card's mainstay features is the free first checked bag for the primary card holder and up to 8 passengers traveling on the same booking. Now, if I recall correctly, checked baggage on Westjet flights starts at $35 per passenger per bag, and so if you travel as a solo passenger a few times a year, or even if you travel as a family once a year, this card can pay for itself year after year through the checked baggage benefit alone. But this credit card's other mainstay feature is the annual companion voucher, which offers discounted travel for a second passenger in economy or premium cabins. Now, as we've explored in detail on the Prince of Travel website and on this YouTube channel, the companion voucher can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on how you use it, which is an easy way to justify the card's $119 annual fee year after year. Now, another thing to keep in mind is that if you redeem Westjet points for a flight, and if you pay the taxes and fees with this credit card, the insurance is going to apply. So if your plans go sideways and you've paid your taxes and fees on a Westjet points redemption with this credit card, you'll have a little bit of extra peace of mind knowing that you're covered for some of your additional expenses. Now, one of the downsides to this card are its earning rates. You earn 1.5 Westjet points per dollar spent on most purchases, or 2 Westjet points per dollar spent on Westjet purchases. Now, Westjet points are worth around 1 cent per point, which means that you're getting a 1.5 to 2% return on all of your purchases. Now, if padding your Westjet points balance is important to you, there are actually better credit cards to do that with, including the RBC Ion Plus Visa, which earns 3 Avion points per dollar spent on a wide range of categories, including groceries, gas, and dining, and those points transfer one-to-one to Westjet. Now, alternatively, you could use the Scotiabank Gold American Express card, which earns up to 16 plus points per dollar spent. Since you can redeem Scene Plus points against travel purchases booked directly with the vendor at 1 cent per point, you can go ahead and book Westjet flights, pay for them with this card, and redeem your Scene Plus points against the cost at 1 cent per point. In sum, I think this is a great credit card to keep if you travel with Westjet with any frequency, especially if you're a couple or a family who checks bags, and if you can take advantage of the annual companion voucher. And if you're a business owner and a Westjet loyalist, you'll definitely want to check out the Westjet RBC World Elite MasterCard for Business, which comes with Silver Elite status as one of its perks. All right, now I'm going to talk about 2 credit cards that I think are 2 of the most interesting airline co-branded credit cards in Canada, and I'm talking about the BMO VI Porter MasterCard and the BMO VI Porter World Elite MasterCard. Now, in my opinion, the most interesting perk that comes with these cards is that you enjoy instant elite status for as long as you're a card holder. So of course, having elite status with any airline offers additional perks when you fly with them. So if you fly at all with Porter Airlines, then I would highly recommend getting one of these credit cards. Now, the VI Porter loyalty program absolutely shines when it comes to economy redemptions within North America. And based on what I've seen, it has one of the fastest earn to burn ratios for economy redemptions. Porter Airlines is also rapidly expanding, so if you haven't flown with the airline for a few years, you might want to check out its flight map because you may be surprised to see destinations across Canada, the United States, Mexico, and even the Caribbean now. Now, one of the downsides to VI Porter is that it's fairly Toronto-centric and to a lesser extent, Ottawa and Montreal. So if you're like me and you're based in Western Canada, you might not find the redemptions that easy to access. Now, another downside to these credit cards is that some of the category earning rates have spending caps, which is a common feature amongst BMO credit cards. So if you spend a lot of money in specific categories, you might find that your earning rate drops down to the card's baseline rate, which is unfortunate. Now, the BMO VI Porter World Elite MasterCard also comes with a companion pass, but after the first year, you have to spend a whopping $50,000 to earn one every year, which I think is a bit unreasonable. But if you're somebody who flies with Porter Airlines with any frequency, I don't think there's a better program for economy redemptions within North America, so you'll definitely want to check these cards out. Are you ready to take your travel rewards game to the next level? Join the Prince of Travel community, your hub for connecting with fellow Canadian points enthusiasts, getting insider strategies, and staying ahead of the latest deals and promotions. Whether you're just getting started or you're a seasoned pro, our community is the place to learn, share, and unlock the full potential of your points. Visit membership.princeoftravel.com today. All right, next up we have the RBC British Airways Visa Infinite. Now this card tends to come with a pretty strong welcome offer, which is a great way to boost your Avios balance quickly. And if you're loyal to British Airways, the card also comes with a 10% off promo code for British Airways flights, which can be a meaningful way to save money on travel. Now, when you spend $30,000 on the card in a year, you get what's called a Companion Award e-voucher, which lets you book 2 award seats for the price of 1, but you still have to pay the taxes and fees, which for British Airways flights can easily add up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now, I think this is actually a great credit card for anybody who's loyal to British Airways or anybody who values having non-stop flights to and from London. Now, the downsides to this card is that the $30,000 spending requirement for the Companion Award e-voucher is quite high, and it locks you into flights with British Airways, which, as we talked about before, have high taxes and fees for award booking. Plus, British Airways only flies to Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal. So if you don't live near any of these cities, you're going to need to book a separate positioning flight. Now, one last downside to this card is that the insurance doesn't cover Avios bookings, even if you use your RBC British Airways Visa Infinite card to pay for them. Now, in my opinion, this is a pretty big oversight for the card, and I hope it's something that changes in the future. Now, let's stick with European carriers and talk about the Air France KLM World Elite MasterCard, which is issued by Brim. Now, one thing that I appreciate most about Air France and KLM is that they have excellent coverage across Canada, with flights to Vancouver, Edmonton, Calgary, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, and Quebec City. Now, this card has excellent earning rates for flights with Air France and KLM, so if you're somebody who spends a lot of money with the airline, you'll definitely want to have this card in your wallet so you can pad your Flying Blue balance. Now, the Flying Blue loyalty program also has very competitive redemption rates, especially on transatlantic flights. Flights in economy start at 25,000 Flying Blue miles, flights in premium economy start at 40,000 Flying Blue miles, and flights in business class start at 60,000 Flying Blue miles. Now, one of the downsides to this card, and I call this a major downside, is that it hasn't offered a welcome bonus in the form of Flying Blue miles in over a year. Plus, the card's earning rates outside of Air France and KLM flights are just okay. Now, keep in mind that Air France KLM Flying Blue is also a transfer partner with American Express membership rewards, so you may want to look at cards in the American Express ecosystem for padding your Flying Blue miles balance. But again, if you fly often on cash fares with Air France or KLM, this card is a no-brainer. All right, the last card that we're going to talk about today is the Cathay World Elite MasterCard powered by Neo. So if you're one of the many people that are loyal to Cathay Pacific and you travel often to Asia, you'll definitely want to check out this card for its 15% off Cathay Pacific flights. Now, I should note that it's been 10% before and it may go down to that in the future. Saving 15% off of a single ticket could easily justify the card's annual fee year after year. Now, I've also heard anecdotally that the boosted earning rate at Neo partners with this card can be pretty good, but that's only if you live in a place with lots of Neo partners around. Now, some of the downsides to this card is that the perks are otherwise actually pretty thin. In fact, a lot of the perks that are advertised on this card are perks that anybody with a World Elite MasterCard gets, or that anybody who's an Asia Miles member gets. Plus, the card's insurance isn't applicable when you pay for the taxes and fees on an Asia Miles booking with the card, which again, I think is a major oversight and something that I hope changes in the future. But if you can take advantage of the card's other features, including the welcome bonus, there's certainly a strong case to be made for anybody who's loyal to Cathay Pacific. So in sum, you'll want to match your card to the airline and the perks that you want to use, like checked baggage, companion vouchers, lounge access, and more. And if you spend a lot of money with any particular airline, you're probably going to want to have an airline's co-branded credit card to get the best earning rate and the best return for your spend. So I'm curious to know where all of you are tuning in from, so feel free to leave your home airport code in the comment section below, and I'll see you in there.